Hello, this is a short introduction video to Math 142 Online. I'm your instructor, Cheryl Meilbeck, so let's get started. Let's start by looking at our syllabus. So let's go to the top of this. On our syllabus, you can find what the course is, my information, and the office hour times. Now, my office hours will be in my office in room 424 on the Lone Tree campus or accessible by Zoom. So I'll show you where that Zoom link is in just a moment. We're going to be covering these topics in our course, starting with statistics, then probability. We'll go on to growth, finance, and voting systems. These are the outcomes which match those topics. In this course, you're required to, here's the book. Now, in every module, you'll have a link to the book, but it also is right here, so the book is free. And that is where you will do the reading for the content of the course. You will need to get a Derivata subscription. It's a $30 subscription, and you'll be prompted to pay for that at the beginning of every homework assignment. We'll look at that as well. You will need a calculator or to use the Desmos app. And I can show you how to do that. If you have questions, please email me. Here are the course policies. Academic integrity, that's kind of important. If there's any assignment that I think you didn't do on your own, you'll receive a 0 on that assignment. So please do the assignments on your own. We need to be able to measure your ability to demonstrate our course content. The discussion activities that we'll be doing in this course are worth 5%. Homework and quizzes are worth 10%. Chapter projects, 15. There are 2 exams, and they are combined worth 20%. A midterm exam that you will need to come into campus to take, and a final exam also. So the midterm and final are taken in person. If you do not live in Flagstaff, you can go to the Page campus, or if you live in other areas, we will find a resource for where you can go and take the exam, because those 2 need to be taken in person, and each are worth 25%, so you don't want to miss out on that. The grading scale. At the bottom part of our syllabus, you can see how each week is laid out. Now, before Wednesday, we want you to read the portion of the text that pertains to the homework, watch the videos in the module that pertain to that week's lessons, and that stuff is due by Wednesday. Oh, the discussion question too. We have a discussion question for which you'll be giving discussion responses twice a week. First on Wednesday, you'll answer or respond to the discussion question. And then by Sunday, you'll respond to one other person's discussion question. That is how the course is laid out. Usually on Friday, the homeworks are due. So you can see each week is laid out. Wednesday, you want to read the sections that you'll need, and you can watch the Smartboard videos that are in the module that pertain to that section. By Friday, the homework is due, and it looks like by our second week, the online quiz is also due. And then by Sunday, you'll be responding to another person's discussion question. Each week it looks like that. On weeks where we have an exam, there aren't any discussion questions because we just want you preparing for the exam. So let's move on to our module and walk you through that for a little bit. You can see here in our module that you have the home page. Start here is a little information about me, and you'll find the Zoom link here. There's me, there's my picture. Here's my office hours once again, and the Zoom link. So if you just click that, it'll take you to the Zoom link. The required materials, there's your textbook, Derivata, and you'll also need a calculator or the Desmos test app. Let's go back home. The syllabus is a very useful page. I like the syllabus page. If we go to that page, you can click and open the course syllabus and just week by week, you can see what is due and when it's due. So if you just come here, you're like, oh gosh, oh, that's not, let's do that one. By Wednesday, I better do the student homework tutorial and the student quiz. By Friday, I better get this homework done. Discussions are listed as being due on Sunday, but they're really due on Wednesday and on Sunday. Let's look at a discussion and show you what I mean. So for the discussion questions, which are due by Wednesday, you'll watch a video or just respond to a question posed and share that on the discussion page just by pushing reply. Then by Sunday, once again, you'll respond to one of your classmates' posts. So that's how discussion questions work. If you go to the More Resources tab, it will provide you links to the Zoom and my office hours. Another helpful page is the modules. In modules, you can see, like here while we're in chapter 1, we're going to be in there for the first 2 weeks. Here's our first discussion week question. There's our second discussion week question. If you go to statistics part 1 here, this is where you'll find the videos and the link to the book. So here's an introduction to chapter 1. Here are some videos that pertain to the chapter, but they're not really lessons on the chapter. And that's the same way it is in all of our chapters. If we go to the click here to learn, that's a very important button. Here's a link to the textbook so you can read the textbook just for that chapter 1. Here's a link to the Smartboard videos. So you may not recall that in our first week, we want to read sections 1.1 through 1.3. If you click on this Smartboard video, you will find somebody teaching you the concepts in those sections. Let's see how long this video is. So this video is 20 minutes long, but worth a watch, especially if reading the textbook did not clarify the concepts for you. All right, let's go back to here. Now, if you're doing your homework and it's kind of confusing, another resource that you can use is a link to homework videos. So here are some videos which show you how to do typical type of problems that you'll see in the homework. Now, again, this is all happening in your chapter 1 module or chapter 2 module or chapter 3 module. So that's a very useful resource. We go back to our modules page. You can see here it will list the discussions. There's the chapter 1 module. By January 25th, there's a vocabulary worksheet due. So this needs to be reworked, but you can click to open the vocabulary worksheet. What I would like to have you do is do it and then submit it online. I need to change this, but then you'd submit it online. Anyway, that is kind of a walk through how the course is set up. Please email me if you have questions, and I look forward to corresponding with you or seeing you in my Zoom office hours. Thanks for watching.